Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to our channel. And after 2 weeks wait, welcome back to my migration show. So for tonight, I will be talking about some news updates for this week and some tips about Australian partner visa, what you need to be careful of before you submit the visa application. All right, so before we start, just some simple introduction about our company and myself. So I'm currently working as the general manager and registered migration agent at Soeju and Migration. So we started as Soeju from 2002, and from 2016 we incorporated Seoul Migration to provide migration services to all international students and temporary residents here in Australia and around the world. All right, and just a little bit about myself. So I started at Soeju from 2013. So far I have 8 years experience in the industry, and for last year I became a migration agent with quite high score, passing the migration agent capstone assessment. And now let's have a look at some news updates for this week. So there will be the first cohorts of international students arrive in Sydney on this week, which is 6th of December. This is the pilot flights from the New South Wales government, which has around 250 international students coming back from over the world. So this is the first news. The second news is about Queensland government. So Queensland decided to reopen borders to interstates from 13th of December 2021, which will be next Monday. So the previous discussion was put today on 17th of December, but the vaccination progress has been quite good in Queensland. So we estimate to achieve 80% of double dose in Queensland on before 13th of December. That's why Queensland government will reopen borders to hotspots interstate, just like New South Wales and Victoria, from 13th of December, which is next Monday, right? And there will be some changes for the 45 visa. Probably some of you have already knew this news, which is for master graduate, no matter you are studying a master coursework or master by research, you will be granted 3 years duration 45 visa from 1st of December this year. And if you are studying a VET program, vocational program, you will be granted a 2 years duration 45 visas. And from 1st of July next year, 1st of July 2022, there will be no requirements for the skill assessment and nominating an occupation on MLT SSL for the graduate work stream from 1st of July next year. So there will be some very positive news for this week. All right, so let's get started for our topic tonight. It will be partner visa in Australia. So I will be talking about the overview of Australian partner visa and who can be the sponsor. So for partner visa, we have visa applicants as well as visa sponsor. So there will be two main players in this application. One is the visa applicant, one is the visa sponsor, okay? And what type of relationship evidence the applicants need to provide to satisfy the Department of Home Affairs requirements to demonstrate their couple relationship, and what are the myths around partner visa, because we have been asked a lot of different questions. Some are true, some are not true. So I will give you some frequently asked questions in tonight's migration show. And last part, of course, we will do an Q&A section. If you have any question about partner visa or any other type of visa in Australia, then I can give you the answer. All right, so let's have a look at the overview of Australian partner visa system. So in Australia, we have actually 5 types of partner visa, but they come together. So for onshore applicants, which means you would like to apply for partner visa in Australia, you will be applying for A20 and A01 visa, which is what we call onshore partner visa application, A20 and A01. And for offshore applicants, which means you're applying for the partner visa while you are not in Australia, there will be visa subclass 309 and 100. 309 and 100. And for those who would like to apply for prospective marriage visa, which means they are not married yet and they can't provide a lot of evidence to prove their relationship, but they intend to get married in Australia, then they can apply for subclass 300s prospective marriage visa. And this is for offshore as well. So for onshore application, it will be 820 and 801. For offshore, it will be 309 and 100 visa. And for prospective marriage, it will be 300. So this is the brief idea of what type of visa you can apply if you would like to apply for partner visa in or out of Australia, okay? So this is the summary of the visa application charge that the Department of Home Affairs will charge when you submit a visa application. So for onshore or offshore, it is same, which is 7,850 Australian dollars for 820 and 801 or 309 and 100. And for those who would like to apply for prospective marriage visa, subclass 300, it will be the same, 7,850. But when the applicant arrives Australia and they get married, they need to apply again for A20 and A01. But the visa application charge will be less, which is around 1,310. This is for the prospective marriage pathway to get permanent residence under the Australian partner visa system. And if you have additional applicants, which are over 18, will be half price, which is 3,930. For under 18 dependent applicant, it will be 1,965. So this is the charge from the Department of Home Affairs for the partner visa application. And for the summary about how it works for the Australian partner visa. So it is a two-stage processing. So as I mentioned, for onshore applicant, it will be A20 and A01. So for A20, this is a temporary residence visa. And for A01, it is a permanent resident visa. So this is a two-stage processing, but which means normally the Department of Home Affairs will grant the applicant A20 first, which is the temporary resident visa, and from 2 years from the application date, the Department of Home Affairs normally will send the invitation emails that they would like to process the second stage, which is A01 visa. So this is the two-stage processing, but in some scenarios that the applicant may be granted A20 and A01 together, or 309 and 100 together. So some examples, some circumstances, like if you and the sponsor, the applicant and the sponsor are in long-term relationship. So the long-term relationship is more than 3 years. So if you can provide evidence that you have been in with your partner for more than 3 years, the Department of Home Affairs may grant you A20 and A01 together, or 309 and 100 together. So this is some special circumstance when applicant may be granted TR and PR together. So for second one is about visa application charge. So you only need to pay the visa application charge once for A20 and A01, or 309 and 100. So you just need to pay once when you submit the visa application, even though it is a two-stage processing. All right, and as soon as you submit the visa application, if you are currently onshore in Australia, you are applying for A20 and A01, you will be eligible to apply for Medicare card. You will be eligible to get into Medicare system in Australia, even your visa is being processed. All right. So this is the summary about the processing about partner visa in Australia. And then now comes to the tricky parts. So some of the applicants may not understand this part. So to apply for the partner visa, you must be in spouse relationship or de facto partner relationship with the sponsor. So for spouse, it's quite easy to understand, which means you have married you have married. So you are in married relationship. And for de facto partner, it means either you have been living with your partner for more than 12 months, or you have registered a civil partnership certificate under one of the states or territory in Australia. So, which means if you have been with each other for less than 12 months, you haven't been living with each other for more than 12 months, but you have registered for the civil partnership certificates and in one of the states or territory, then you still will be considered as de facto partner. So this is a little bit tricky for some of the applicants. They may not know this process. They may not know this definition for de facto partner. All right. So, but in Australia, most states and territory, you can register for the de facto partner certificates. In Queensland, we call it civil partnership. In Victoria, we call it domestic relationship certificates. So the name may be different, but it is similar function to demonstrate you are officially recognized as de facto partner in Australia. All right. Next one is about who can be the sponsor for the partner visa application. So first of all, your partner must be an Australian citizen or Australian permanent resident visa holder, or it is he or she is an eligible New Zealand citizen. So I give the definition about what is considered as eligible New Zealand citizen in following. So I won't talk much about this one because I believe most of the sponsors are either Australian citizen or Australian permanent resident visa holder. So this is about the basic requirements. So this is the first step. You need to be an Australian citizen, Australian PR visa holder, or eligible New Zealand citizen to sponsor your partner to apply for the partner visa application. So if you are holding a temporary resident visa, let's say 485 graduate visa or student visa, you can include your partner into the application, but this is not partner visa. So this is the, let's say for student visa, this is student dependent visa application. So sometimes we may receive some inquiries that the client said, oh, I would like to apply for partner visa. But when we check their details about their partner, actually they are not Australian citizen, they are not Australian PR visa holder, or they are not eligible New Zealand citizen. They just want to be added into the temporary resident visa application. So this is quite important. Don't be confused. So this is the difference between Australian partner visa application and some temporary resident visa dependent visa applicants. All right. So apart from this, so this is the basic requirements to become the sponsor. Apart from it, the sponsor will still need to meet certain criteria. So first of all, the sponsor can only sponsor 2 spouses or de facto partner in his or her lifetime, and can only sponsor 1 applicant within 5 years unless in exceptional circumstance. Second one is the sponsor cannot hold a spouse visa, the partner visa sponsored by another person in the past 5 years, and the sponsor cannot be convicted of or have had to pay the fine for hurting a child. So this is to protect the visa applicants, and the sponsor needs to pass the character test. So, but of course, in some exceptional circumstance, these requirements may be waived, but I won't go very deep about these, the waiver, about these requirements. If you have concerns about one of these requirements, just feel free to contact Seoul Edu and Migration, and then one of our migration agents can answer your inquiry and give you more detailed counseling. And next one is about the key topic for tonight. For those who have confusion about what type of document they need to provide to satisfy the Department of Home Affairs assessment for their partner visa application. So, the Department of Home Affairs has listed 4 different aspects for a couple that they need to provide evidence to satisfy they are in a spouse relationship or a de facto partner relationship. So the 4 aspects are financial aspects, nature of household aspects, social aspects, and nature of commitments aspects. So I will go through it one by one and can give you some examples of what type of document you can provide to prove your relationship. First of all is financial aspects. So for financial aspects, you can provide evidence that any joint ownership of real estate or other major assets and any joint liabilities such as the joint credit card or mortgage, home loan. This is the liabilities, and they will also consider the extent of any pooling of financial resources, especially in relation to major financial commitments. Let's say if you have a joint bank account and both your both of you have pour funds into the joint account, that can be one of the evidence you provide to the Department of Home Affairs. But if you just set up a joint account but you seldomly use, this cannot be very evidence. So you must be frequently using the joint accounts if you have set up it with your partner. The next one is whether you or your partner own any legal obligation in respect of each other. So let's say if you have make a personal loan and the guarantor is your partner, then it can demonstrate the financial aspects of your relationship. All right. And the next one is about the basis of any sharing of day-to-day household expenses, whether you are paying together for the utility bills, the grocery bills, going out for dinner, for lunch. So this is the when they consider about the financial aspects. And last part is about evidence of any joint financial arrangement enter into by you and your partner, or any financial supports you or your partner have provided to each other. Let's say probably one of you are currently still a student, but the other part is currently working. So the main source of income, they transfer money to you monthly to provide financial support to you, then it can demonstrate the financial aspects for your spouse or de facto relationship. So, of course, when you submit a visa application, you can provide evidence such as bank statements for joint bank accounts or joint mortgage statements or money transferring history to demonstrate the financial aspects of financial relationship under you and under the with the visa applicant and visa sponsor. So this is about financial aspects, but this is just several samples. You can provide a lot of other evidence which you think it can help for your financial aspect. But of course, again, if you are confused about which type of evidence you can provide, feel free to contact us. We can give you more detailed counseling based on your situation and your background. Next one is about nature of household. So this one is a little bit funny, or probably when the applicant first time when they hear these terms, they may be confused. What is nature of household? What is the nature of household? So I can feel the confusion as well when the first time I heard these legal terms. So from the Department of Home Affairs, for the nature of household, it means you are living together. You are not living separately permanently, which means they will consider whether you have any joint responsibility for care and support of children, if any, your living arrangements. Let's say, probably for the visa applicants, they are doing some housework, they are doing cooking, while the visa sponsor is the main income source, then the sponsor may just do some fixing for some electrical gadgets, this type of arrangements. And any sharing of responsibility of housework I just mentioned, and evidence that you and your partner have lived together and have maintained a shared household. So you can provide evidence such as the if you're renting the house or renting an apartment together, then you can provide a joint rental agreement, or if you can provide some evidence like the same letters or same mail, stamp mail to the same address, it can also prove that you are living with your partner. All right. So this is about the nature of household aspects, how how the Department of Home Affairs will assess your visa application. The next aspect will be social aspects. So for most of the young couples, probably social aspect is one of the easiest aspect that they can provide evidence. So the Department of Home Affairs will consider whether you and your partner represent yourself to other people or family as being in a spouse or de facto partner relationship with each other. And they will also require you to provide at least two witness from your family or friends about the nature of your relationship. So you will need to provide two witness as well as the form 888 from them to fill out. So the form 888 is mainly about how this family member or your friend have been knowing you, how long they have been meeting you together, and how often they meet together, and how they think you are a genuine couple. So this is about a form 888, which we require at least two from your family members or friends to provide, and any basis on which you and your partner plan and undertake joint social activities. Let's say if one of your friends or family members invited you and your partner as a couple to attend a wedding or attend some matches, attend some social activities, that you can provide those type of evidence to prove your relationship under the social aspects. And the last one is evidence of joint travels of you and your partner. Let's say you are traveling overseas together, you are going back to home country together, or you're just traveling around Australia. Those type of evidence can be proved as the couple under the social aspects. So one kind of reminder. So if you are traveling together with each other, remember to keep those itinerary as well as the hotel booking, because it will help your partner visa application. So apart from form 888 and travel tickets and hotel booking confirmation, you can also provide evidence like the interaction in social media platforms. Let's say for Facebook. So if you have published your relationship status on Facebook with the sponsor or visa applicant, there will be great evidence that you can provide to the Department of Home Affairs to prove your relationship is published to others, to your friends and family members. And if you have posted any couple photos on any social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, or probably some Chinese couples, they may post it on WeChat. Some other countries couple, let's say Japanese or Thai, they might post it online. So you can generate those evidence to prove that you have published your relationship to others on social media platforms. So this is about social aspects. And next one is about commitment. So this is a little bit hard to prove, but normally they will assess the duration of your relationship. So how they assess it is like I demonstrate to the Department of Home Affairs that I have been with my partner for 10 years, but I can't provide evidence. I can't provide any evidence. So the Department of Home Affairs will be very difficult to assess the duration of your relationship. So you need to provide evidence to demonstrate the duration and how long you have been with each other. So you need to provide evidence to prove your relationship. And they will also consider the length of time you and your partner have lived together. So the first and second one seems a little bit confusing, because you may be in relationship with your partner, but probably for the first year or for the first 2 years, you might not be living together. This is quite natural. You might still live in your own home, your own apartments, after you decide to move together. So the first part is about how long you have been in together. The second consideration is about how long you have been living together. So this is a little bit different. For the third part is about the degree of companionship and emotional supports that you draw from each other. So for this part, normally we will advise our clients to provide a love story, to provide um, the developments of the relationship, how they meet each other, how they live with each other, and how they support each other. So this is about the degree of companionship and emotional supports. And the next one is whether you and your partner see the relationship as a long-term one. So this is again very tricky. It is like a little bit confusing what type of document I can prove that the couple see the relationship as a long-term one. So if you have married for a long term, then probably this is one of the evidence you can provide. Or you have bought a very expensive gift to your partner, this can be provided as well. Or you have drawn a joint mortgage or a joint asset, you have bought a joint asset, so this can be considered as a commitment as well. And the last part is the evidence that you and your partner have maintained contact during periods of separation. So it can be provided such as phone call history, the video chat history, or emails or letters that you mail to each other if you have some periods that you are living separately. Let's say probably the applicant will go back to home country for 1 or 2 weeks holiday while the sponsor is in Australia. So you might need to provide evidence how you keep contacts during that period. And like I said, some examples of evidence you can provide, such as the love story statements and phone bills history, to provide evidence that you keep contact with each other if you are living separately. All right. So this is the last aspect the Department of Home Affairs will consider. So this is about the commitments aspect. All right. So before I talk about the myth or the frequently asked questions, I do want to remind you again. So we talk about you need to be in a spouse relationship or de facto partner relationship together. This is the first part. Second part is who can be the sponsor. Australian citizen, Australian PR visa holder, or eligible New Zealand citizen, and they need to meet certain criteria to be a qualified sponsor. So this is the basic requirements. And for some frequently asked questions, first of all, can same-sex couple apply for partner visa? The answer is yes, absolutely yes. So same-sex couple can also apply for partner visa. Second question, must the couple be in a relationship for more than 12 months before they can apply for partner visa? Anyone would like to make a guess? So the answer is no. If you have married or you have registered for a de facto partnership certificate in one of the states or territory, you are not required to have been in living together for more than 12 months. But if you don't want to get married, you don't want to get the civil partnership certificate or the domestic relationship certificate, then yes, you will be required to provide evidence that you have been living together for more than 12 months. So this is a little bit tricky. Number three, must the applicant wait 2 years to get partner visa approved? So yes and no for this question. So under most circumstances, the majority of the applicants, they will need to wait more than 2 years to get permanent residence visa. But just as I mentioned in previous slides, so if you can prove that you are under several limited situations, let's say you have been in long-term relationship with your partners, which is more than 3 years, or you and your partner have a child or children and you have been in relationship for more than 2 years, then your visa application may be granted temporary residence and permanent residence at the same time. So there is some exceptional circumstance while you don't need to wait for 2 years. But for other situations, the Department of Home Affairs will assess your application by two stages. They will grant you the temporary resident visa first, and 2 years from the initial visa application date, they will send you an invitation to process the second stage, which is the permanent resident visa stage. And next one is about, must the applicant marry the sponsor to apply for partner visa? So I believe I already gave the answer. The answer is no. So two ways if you don't want to get married. The first way is you have been living together for more than 12 months. The second one is you haven't lived together for more than 12 months, but you have registered your relationship in one of the state or territory governments. So you don't need to wait for 12 months, or you don't need to get married if you have registered for the government's relationship evidence certificate. And next one. So this one is a little bit tricky, and I do receive some inquiries for this question. Is about, what if the relationship between the applicant and visa sponsor breaks down? So what will happen? So for this question, it depends on the stage. So if you have been granted the permanent residence already, and if the relationship breaks down, your PR will still keep there. So your PR is still here. But as I said, the partner visa application is two-stage processing. If the relationship breaks down after the temporary resident visa stage and before the Department of Home Affairs grant you the permanent resident visa stage, so you might not get the permanent residence visa, except for several scenarios. First of all, you have been suffered domestic violence from the sponsor. So this is the first extreme scenario. Second one is the sponsor has passed away. So this is some extreme scenario when if your relationship breaks down and you suffer some extreme scenario, you might still be eligible to get permanent residence, but you still need to provide evidence that, let's say, before domestic violence happens, you still be in the relationship. So you will still need to provide evidence to prove before the domestic violence happens, you are still be in the relationship with the sponsor. And what if the relationship breaks down before the temporary residence visa stage? So you might not be granted the temporary residence or permanent residence, except for some extreme scenario that I just mentioned, either suffer some domestic violence or the sponsor pass away. So if you have been in this situation, it is a little bit complicated, but don't feel panic. Just feel free to contact us. We will do some analysis for your situation and give you the best advice. And the next one, some sponsors are a little bit concerned about, does the sponsor need to be very rich to be the sponsor for the partner visa? So the answer is absolutely no. You don't. The sponsor doesn't need to provide financial evidence that they are rich enough to support the visa applicant. So the answer is no for this question. And the next question is, I'm currently on another visa in Australia, and can I cancel my current visa after submitting the partner visa application? So we also receive a lot of these similar inquiries. Let's say some applicants are currently holding a student visa or tourist visa, and they have applied for the partner visa. They would like to cancel the current visa. My advice is, do not do this one. It will be very risky, because if you cancel your current visa, let's say you have been carrying you are holding a student visa in Australia, and you have submitted a partner visa, and the partner visa has not yet been granted. So if you cancel your current student visa, you will be holding no visa. you will be holding no visa. So which means, of course, at the time of application, if you are holding a student visa, you will be granted a bridging visa A, but the bridging visa A will cease to be in effect if you cancel your current student visa. If you cancel your current student visa, then it will be a little bit more complicated to demonstrate to satisfy other requirements for the partner visa application. So do not cancel your current visa. Just wait, just comply with the current visa conditions and wait for the partner visa to be granted. But if you have some compassionate or compelling reasons that you can't comply with the visa condition for your current visa, just contact us, contact Seoul Agile and Migration. We will give you individual counseling and see what's the best options or the best advice we can give you. All right, so this is the most frequently asked question we receive during our daily counseling about partner visa. But of course, if you have any question you would like to ask, just feel free to type in the YouTube box. I will do the Q&A later. So if you have any question about partner visa application, just feel free to type in the checkbox. Then I can give you answer later. So advertisement time. So what are the difference about DIY your partner visa and by using a registered migration agents? So as we know, the Department of Home Affairs may change the policy from year to year or from day to day. There were a lot of changes happening every day. So for migration agents, we receive those updates from our migration agent organization like the MIA or Migration Alliance. We have a very powerful alliance and organization which can support us, so we can receive the latest updates for any policy change or for any updates from the Department of Home Affairs, which if you're applying by yourself, you may not be aware of those changes, and then you might get visa refusal. And you see, the partner visa application is quite expensive. It costs us 7,850. If you got the visa refusal, that which means you waste those money. And probably if you don't have any substantive visa, your visa has expired and you're waiting for the partner visa to be granted, which means you might not be able to submit another partner visa in Australia. So it might take you into a very complicated situation. So this is one of the benefits that why you should choose a registered migration agent to submit your partner visa application. And the second one is there will be a lot of legal terms and definitions while you submit a visa application online. So there will be a lot of question asking about your character, about your travel history, about your backgrounds, and if you answer incorrectly for the application, it may make you into trouble. So for us, because we can assess the migration regulations and migration legislations, that's why we can know which type of answer we should put in the online application. And of course, sometimes nowadays the Department of Home Affairs will communicate via email, or sometimes, rarely, they might do the interview, the phone interview, and we can guide you what type of answers you should give to the Department of Home Affairs, and we monitor our emails daily, so we won't miss any email from the Department of Home Affairs if they request for more information or more documents. But if you're applying by yourself and you randomly check your emails, you might miss the deadlines for the providing the additional documents or information to the Department of Home Affairs, right? So this is the benefits of using a migration agent to submit your visa application compared to submitting the visa application by yourself. But of course, I don't mean that you can't apply the visa by yourself. Of course, you can, but I would say we can increase the success rate if you're using a registered migration agent, and we are the professionals that assist our clients to get the results faster. Uh, because of we saw all the documents very organized, so we might your application might be granted faster if you just submit a lot of documents but you don't name it in order, you don't name it correctly. So this is the comparison. And why so agile and migration? So in our team, we have 5 registered migration agents, and we assist more than 300 clients per year for different types of visas. We assisted our clients for partner visas, for student visas, for graduate visas, and for skill-related visas or TSS visas. So we have experience in dealing with different type of visa applications, and our successful rate is around 99%. And in our team, we have staff from 9 different nationalities that we can speak your own language. We understand probably sometimes it's difficult to communicate in English to express your own situation. But in So Edu and Migration, we have members from 9 different nationality. We can speak 9 different languages. So it will become easier for us to assist you to submit your visa application for the process. All right, now I would like to take time to do the Q&A. If any audience tonight have any question about partner visa application or other visa applications in Australia. But I will just show our contact methods. So I have put our office address, my email address, as well as some of our social media platforms. So if you have any inquiries about studying and migrating in Australia, just feel free to contact us with one of the following contact methods. You can just walk into our office, or you can send me an email, or you can contact via Facebook Messenger or Instagram inbox, or just comments in our YouTube channel. Then we can reply your inquiry as soon as practicable. Yeah. So I will probably just wait for a few more minutes before we end tonight's section. Just feel free to type in the chat box if you have any questions for studying or migrating into Australia. All right, so if no question, I will see you in 2 weeks' time, which will be on 22nd of December, same time, 7 to 8 p.m. Brisbane time. And yes, if you have any specific interest about a topic you want me to talk about, just feel free to comment in our YouTube channel. Then I can hit that topic in next time. So I will see you guys in 2 weeks' time, and probably it will be the last one before the end of 2021, before I go for Christmas holiday. So I will see you guys on 22nd of December this year, and it will be 7 to 8 p.m. Brisbane time. See you next time.